بسم الله والحمد لله ونصلي ونسلم على رسول الله أما بعد. Then to continue with our lessons on how to read Arabic, then in the previous lessons after the alphabet we've been reading the alphabet with the vowels. So for example, at first we done for example alif, and then we've done the vowel which is called what? Fatha, and that gives the sound. And then we moved on to the vowel which is called the what? Called the kasra sound. It's the kasra which gives the e sound. And then in the previous lesson we done the last one, the last vowel, which we call the dhamma, which gives the u sound. So in this lesson we're going to be doing harf al-sakin, which is literally called the silent letter. And that is when we get a letter and it has this symbol sign above it, which is just a small circle, and this is called the sukoon. We write it here, sukoon. So here we have fatha, kasra, dhamma, then we have the sukoon. So this is called the silent letter because it has no sound, and we can only hear it when one of these three come before it. So for example, if I was to write a, and then the next one would be, so if you pronounce it for me, if you read the whole two letters for me, it'd be a-b. And again, if you read it for me, it'd be a-bu. And the last one, we'd read it a-ba. When we put the harf al-sakin, which is sukoon, then we would read this as ab. Ab. See, it has no sound, but we pause, and we pause on the letter. So we say abba. So if I was to write, if I was to join another word onto this, for example, and I was to write a sukoon here and a kasra here, then we pronounce it. You pronounce it first. Yeah, so it would be ab, ti, abti, abti. And we do that with all of the other words. So if we do a small exercise here, we'll be able to see it clearly. So we'll start with this one. We do a, kha, akha. We do a, khi, akhi. We do a, khu, akhu. And we come to a, and then the kha has a sukoon on it, so we pronounce it akh, akh. So we don't pronounce, we don't really put a vowel on the kha, meaning a fatha, kasra, or a dhamma. We just say akh. So here, if we see the sukoon in the middle of the word, so if you try and pronounce the whole word for me, so do alif, or a, and then the kha, and then the ra, and then the ja. So we say akh, ra, ja, akh, raja, akh, raja. And again, a. We have the kha with the sukoon. Fa, qa. So again, we pronounce it akh, fa, qa, akh, fa, qa, akh, fa, qa. Again, the next one, a, and the kha with the sukoon, ba, ra. So we say akh, ba, ra, akhbara, akhbara. We go on to the next one. You have ya, ka, yaka, ya, ki, yaki, ya, ku, yaku, ya, and the kaf with the sukoon, yak, yak. See, we can hear the letter, but we don't pronounce it. We say yak, yak. So we do another, we read these three letters of these three words. We say ya, kaf with the sukoon, yak, ra, hu, yak, rahu, yak, rahu. And we have ya, and we have the kaf with the sukoon, si, bu, yak, si, bu, yak, si, bu. So we can hear the kaf, we don't pronounce it. Yak, si, bu. Moving on with the ya, and kaf with the sukoon, tu, bu, yak, tu, bu, yak, tu, bu. And again, we have a, na, ana, a, ni, ani, a, nu, anu. We have the a, noon with the sukoon. We say an, an, an. So then we say a, then the noon with the sukoon, ta, anta, anta. Then a, noon again with the sukoon, t, anti, anti. And we have the a, noon with the sukoon, tu, and then the meme. This meme should have a sukoon as well. So now we have two sukoons in the word. So we say antum, antum. So we can hear the n, the noon, and we can hear the tum. We can hear the meme. We don't put a fatha, kasra, or dhamma on it. Antum. Okay, so we'll do a small exercise. So I'm gonna say like two letters, and you have to guess what letter has the sukoon on it. So for example, I would say ab, ab. So what letter can you hear with the sukoon? Yes, it was the, if I say ab, it'll be a ba. Ab. Okay, you got that? Okay, so next one. At, 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 ut, it. Yep, you can hear a ta sound. At, it, ut. Next one. أد أد إد إت إد أد. You can hear a dal. Ad. Next one. Af. If. Oof. You should have heard a fat sound. Letter fat. Next one. An. In. Un. Noon. Next one. Ath. Ith. Uth. Should have heard tha. Tha. Next one. Atta. Itta. Utta. You should have heard a ta. As. Is. Us. Yep, you should have heard a scene. Ash. Ish. Ush. Then you should have heard a sheen. Next one. Al. Il. Ul. You should have heard a lamb. Okay, so now we're going to carry on and do a few exercises. So now in this box, we're going to read the Sukoon with letters that have a fatha coming before them. So I'll highlight it and you try and read the whole word and then I'll read it after you. Should be qad. Qad. So with the qaf and then the dal, we say qad. Hal. Hal. The ha and the lam. Hal. Hal. Man. Man. The meme and the noon. Man. Da. Da. So we have the dal and the ain. Da. Da. An. An. The ain and the noon. An. Low. 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 The lam and the waw. Low. Sell. Sell. The sin and the lam. Sell. Bel. Bel. Ba and lam. Moving on. Lan. Lan. Lam and noon. Lan. ضع. ضع. The ضاد and the ain. ضع. Lam. Lam. The lam and the meme. An. An. Alif and noon. Excellent. So now we'll move on and we'll read قراءة الحرف الساكن مسبوق بالكسرة. So we're going to read the Sukoon, which has a kasra before it. So we're going to start. Sir. Sir. With the sin and ra. Sir. Zid. Zid. Zai and Nadal. Zid. Sil. Sil. The Sad and the Lam. Sil. Bi'. Bi'. The Ba and the Ain. Bi'. قف. قف. The Qaf and the Fa. قف. من. من. ميم and noon. من. زن. زن. زاي and noon. زن. إذ. إذ. ألف نذال. إذ. بت. بت. باء تاء. بت. قس. قس. قاف النسين. قس. So now we move on to reading the harf al-sakin, the sukoon, which has a dhamma before it. Let's read the first one. قم. قم. قاف and the mim. قم. عد. عد. عين and dal. عد. قل. قل. قاف لام. قل. صم. صم. The صاد and mim. صم. خذ. خذ. The خاء ذال. خذ. دم. دم. دال ميم. دم. كل. كل. كاف لام. كل. I should notice the difference between these two. Sometimes people get them mixed up. This is قاف and lam. قل. قا. قا. قل. And this one is كاف. كل. كل. قل. ذق. ذق. ذال and قاف. Here, just listen how we pronounce the qaf. ذق. If it was a kaf, then we'd say ذك. ذك. If it was kaf, we would say ذك. Because it's qaf, we say ذق. ذق. تب. 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 Ta and ba. تب. كن. كن. كاف and noon. كن. Okay, so now we have the same exercise, but now it's mixed up with fatha and a kasra or dhamma coming before the sukoon. So again, I'll just highlight it and then you read it. Sel, sel. Sil, sil, sad. And again, make sure we pronounce these two differently, the seen and the sad. We have a seen and then we have a sad. Seen, sad. So we have sel, sil, sil. Sum, sum. Again with the sad, if it was seen, we'd say sum, sum. But he would say sum, sum. It's like you can hear like a slight whistle as you say sum, sum. خط, خط. So again, this ta is different to ta. If it was ta, we'd say khit, khit, because it's a ta. Khit, khit. Khif, khif. Kul, kul. Again with a kaf, not a qaf, not qul. Kul. Sif, sif. Fizz, fizz. ضع, ضع. طف, طف. With a ta, طف. Excellent. Okay, so we'll conclude with this short lesson today on the sukoon. So just as a practice, then this, so we'll do 4 bas, ba, ba, and then ba again. So as I write the vowel, then you pronounce it. So we'd say bu, bi, ba. And then we have the sukoon. So for example, we put a letter before it, ab, ab. So what you must memorize for this lesson, you should have known this by now, it's dhamma, kasra, fatha, and sukoon. So if you practice this lesson so that you master it, and then in next lesson, we will go on to reading longer words with the fatha, kasra, dhamma, and the sukoon, all in the words. هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين.